When you're in the most competitive segment of today's automotive industry, being good is not good enough. You need to be exceptional to offer things others don't. And that's something we could say for the new Sportage. With the complete redesign last year, it brought improvements in every aspect that matters, whether it's about practicality or ride quality. But it also brought the new, pretty unique styling, which definitely helps this SUV stand out from the crowd. A year later, we're taking another look to answer the question, is the 2024 Kia Sportage the best compact SUV on the market? Or was it maybe just a summer hit? Let's find out. The Sportage has been around for about 3 decades, and it's legit to say that most of its 5 generations were characterized by a pretty interesting design approach. Styling has always been Sportage's way to stand out, but the recent redesign brought everything to the next level. It brought the most radical, aesthetical change in the nameplate's history with a front-end design that's nothing like you can find on today's market. Once again, we're talking about an unusual design. With those alien-looking boomerang LED headlights and unique grille design, the Sportage looks like a vehicle from the future, and even today, a year after we saw it for the first time, it looks more than interesting. And when we talk about headlights, it's good to mention that the 2024 Sportage gets LED projector lights as part of standard equipment in all trim levels, including the most basic LX. But the Sportage's appearance is much more than a unique face. The whole body looks sculpted, more muscular, more mature than before. And that's not all, it's also notably bigger, with a few additional inches to the wheelbase as well as to the overall length, which brings notable improvements in terms of interior practicality, which we'll talk about in a few moments. Before that, let's take a look at a few technical things. Speaking of the technical things, the 5th generation was built over a new platform called the N3. But despite the architecture, the base design didn't change drastically. Of course, we saw the implementation of all kinds of new technologies, including hybrid powertrains, but when we talk about the chassis and things like that, the changes were rather evolutionary but still quite effective. For example, the suspension setup is pretty similar, with McPherson at the front and Multilink on the rear end, but Kia engineers managed to polish things up. We can't complain about the firm ride anymore, like we did with some previous iterations. The ride is smooth and comfortable, while the new suspension absorbs road imperfections with style. At the same time, the Sportage remains composed, with minor body lean and decent steering. If there's anything else we could say about the ride quality, that would be the braking, which is better than before, maybe because of the fact that the rear brakes now come with ventilated discs instead of the classic ones. It's not easy to draw a line between mainstream and premium cars anymore. That gap doesn't exist as it used to because every car maker now wants to stand out with a high-quality interior. Mainstream car makers do that with less or more success, and the Sportage definitely belongs to the latter. After the relatively dull and pretty conventional design of the previous generation, the new one impresses in pretty much every aspect. Of course, the first thing you'll notice is that set of screens and other tech features, but that's complemented with style. The dashboard was designed with a lot of taste, as it combines quality materials with lots of horizontal lines, which is something that promises it's going to look nice after many, many years of exploitation. Back to tech features. While base models come standard with an 8-inch unit, most variants come with a 12.3-inch infotainment screen. Moreover, wireless smartphone integration is part of the standard equipment, while premium audio systems, Wi-Fi hotspot, and wireless charging are available as options. But despite the generous offer of tech features, the Sportage doesn't over-rely on digital controls. A decent portion of physical knobs and buttons are still here, while we find the old-school gear lever quite refreshing. Besides various tech and convenience upgrades, higher trim levels also come with an attractive two-tone color scheme, though you can go all black if you want to as well. In both cases, such a configured cabin is pretty much on par with most premium badged compact crossovers around. But the Sportage wouldn't be considered so great if it was just about the style. we're still talking about vehicles that primarily serve as family haulers, so Kia designers put a lot of focus on that aspect as well. Typically for front rows in this class, there's plenty of passenger room. With 41.4 inches of legroom, it's obvious that the Sportage can accommodate adults of all sizes, while the solid level of adjustability guarantees that you're going to find the perfect driving position in no time. The front seats are well designed too, but somehow, the rear seats are the thing we appreciate most about this interior. The notably stretched wheelbase made this SUV pretty generous with the space in the second row. With 41.3 inches of legroom, things are pretty much the same as in the front row in terms of comfort, which is a pretty rare thing in this segment. Respectable exterior dimensions also ensure generous cargo space, with nearly 40 cubic feet behind the second row and nearly 75 with the rear seats down. That's impressive for a compact SUV. The new generation of Sportage is characterized by a pretty generous offer of powertrain options. There's something for everyone, starting from the base, naturally aspirated inline 4. It's a natural choice for all those looking for a straightforward setup. The 2.5-liter engine has been around for a while, and it proved itself as a reliable unit. However, many think this engine is actually the weakest point of the Sportage, and that's because it's one of the rare things about this SUV that's not above average. Although stylish, luxurious, and practical, the Sportage with this engine offers barely average performance, as the max output is rated at 187 horsepower. That's plenty enough for cruising around town, but it feels a little bit underpowered on the open road. Also, the 8-speed automatic transmission is often in a hunt for the right gear. With all that in mind, the hybrid imposes itself as a better choice, with more power and better fuel economy. Actually, there are two hybrids on offer, both with a 1.6-liter Turbo 4 under the hood. The first one is a classic hybrid, and it's rated at around 227 horsepower. Need more than that? No problem. There's also a plug-in hybrid version equipped with a more capable electric motor and a combined output of 261 horsepower. Besides good fuel economy, this version also brings the benefit of EV mode with the ability to make around 33 miles solely on electric power. The 2024 Kia Sportage starts at around $28,500, and for that sum, you get the LX trim. You can also upgrade it with the hybrid powertrain for around $30,000, but in both cases, you get similar standard equipment. Cloth upholstery and manually adjustable seats clearly say this is the base trim, but on the other hand, there's nothing to complain about when it comes to tech goodies. An 8-inch infotainment screen, wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, HD radio, voice recognition, and remote keyless entry are all part of the standard equipment. Furthermore, there's a generous offer of safety and driver assistance goodies, such as forward collision warning, forward automatic emergency braking, pedestrian and cyclist detection, lane tracing assist, lane departure warning, lane keep assist, driver attention monitoring, automatic high beam headlights, rear parking sensors, and a rear view camera. The next step would be the EX trim, available from $30,500. It's a big upgrade in terms of convenience, as you get that bigger infotainment screen, leather upholstery, power adjustable seats, leather-wrapped steering wheel, dual-zone climate control, and many more. X-Line is the next in line, with a sticker price of $33,500, and, unlike other models, it comes exclusively with a gas-powered engine. That's because it's focused on off-roading, though a pretty light one. All-wheel drive, snow drive mode, and a slight ground clearance increase are all you get in terms of performance, while there are also more rugged bumpers to improve the appearance. It's pretty legal to say that the SX opens the doors of luxury with upgrades like a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, premium Harman Kardon sound system, panoramic sunroof, power liftgate, driver memory settings, adaptive cruise control, and many other things. That variant costs around $34,000, but for a few thousand more, you can get the SX Prestige with even more luxury features. Some of the highlights are goodies like ventilated front seats, an 8-way power adjustable front passenger seat, LED headlights, reverse automatic emergency braking, and a surround view camera system. The top of the offer is reserved for X Pro and X Line trims, depending on whether you choose a gas-only or hybrid powertrain. But in both cases, unique exterior accents, alloy pedals, and similar visual enhancements are the key upgrades. Finally, both X Pro and X Line trims are available with the Prestige suffix, which brings even more exclusive features. What do you think of the 2024 Kia Sportage? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.